Hi people, Inny here, and I'm back with another story time. So recently I went to Disneyland Paris for a netball tournament. I played goal shooter and everything was going great. My shots were going in, my team was winning, and I was really enjoying it. Then on the first day, but the last match, my goalkeeper stepped on my foot as I was running back to catch the ball. I toppled over backwards, hit my elbows, and then rebounded onto the back of my head. At first it didn't hurt. There was just shock, but then I curled up into a ball and screamed. It was the worst pain I have ever felt. The whole room went silent. My mum and my sister rushed over. Instinctively, I tore off my bib and tried to shuffle off. I knew there was no injury time, so I thought I had to get off and let them go on with the game because I cared more about the game than my injury at that point. However, the umpires were more worried about me than the game, so my mum helped me up and I hobbled feeling very dizzy with a massive headache over to the medic. I had to wait outside for a bit as she was already treating somebody, but after she finished, she rushed me in. What I could only interpret as a slightly panicking expression, she called the paramedics, who in France are also part of the fire brigade. During this time, I was lying on kind of a hybrid between a bed and a table. I'm not sure how to describe it. She was prodding at my neck to make sure I hadn't got any spinal injuries when the paramedics came in. They reminded us we were in France because they could only talk French. So at this point, it was only me and my sister, not my mum. We don't talk very much French and they didn't talk very much English, so we were in a bit of a predicament. So we waited for my mum to come back as she is better at French. They got me to open and close my eyes to see if my pupils were dilating and attached me to something that measured my heart rate. Then they brought in a stretcher. I didn't notice, but according to my mum, my heart rate shot up. I had to sit up, and for a moment I felt really dizzy as I sat on the stretcher. They got me to lie down and strapped me in. It felt like it was trying to grab onto me because it was so tight. In the stretcher, I couldn't really move or see what was happening. So I only occasionally saw intrigued faces that looked over the edge, but I was really embarrassed, so I shut my eyes most of the time. I could feel myself being lifted off the ground when we were at staircases, and when we got to the ambulance, I could feel us rolling over the concrete that made up the car park. When I was inside, my mum was with me, holding my hand, and my sister was in the car behind us, ready to follow because we could only have one person inside the ambulance. The paramedics called the doctor, and they said that they were not sure how much point there was in coming to the hospital. Apparently, they're pretty similar to our emergency injuries, and we'd have an estimated wait time of 4 hours. On top of that, they can't do much for a concussion, so in the end, we went back to the hotel. Not before my mum could take a picture of me with the paramedics, though. Anyway, that's all for today, people. See you next time. Bye!